This poem's called The Lonely Rider. Okay, so there's a lonely rider. She takes a pen in her pad and sits in the corner lonely, lost, and just writes her world slowly down on that paper. She isn't bound in she isn't found in one of the biggest authors, but she's one of the biggest feeling writers I've ever known. The feelings that will never come out of her mouth seems to come out of her hands when she writes. Swift movements, words so angelic. It's like you're sitting in heaven. But have you ever thought to think why is this lonely writer lonely? This lonely writer is lonely because she chooses to be. If she sits in the corner and writes, there's no need for her. There's no pain to be felt. If she sits in the corner all by herself and just writes, there's no pain except for what pours out on her paper. The words that she's feeling slowly fill out on the paper, like a river hitting the rocks, or the gentle sway of a breeze breaking when it hits the trees. Have you ever thought of how the lonely writer writes? She writes so content with her head held high and her eye focused on the paper. Her hand moving swiftly with every word she writes. It's like her mind is never ending, her hand is never ending. One motion that never ends. Have you ever thought about the lonely writer that never seems to end? If you asked the lonely writer now today, she wouldn't write a story for you. She honestly wouldn't write a story for you. It's all in her pain. Have you ever seen the pain that the lonely writer goes through on a daily basis, on a daily scene? Have you ever seen the pain have you ever seen the love that the lonely writer writes? Every single time she writes, she adds something a little bit more to make herself happy. When she writes, she adds that little touch to make sure everybody knows who she is. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. That lonely writer is one of the best writers I've ever known. My favorite author is the lonely writer. And anybody who asks me who the lonely writer is, the lonely writer is those who write with a gift. The lonely writer can be found anywhere, but the lonely writer I'm talking about in this poem is me.